Delighted, Richard, to be joined by yourself. Richard was Cockerill. It's now Richard Cockerill.
Cockerill,
hello. How are you? Richard, are you in a prison cell there? Where are you sat now? It looks like prison, and we know what a prison cell looks like.
You definitely do, Jim. I know that for sure. No, this is the kitchen. This is,
the vino's there.
There is. Well, Georgian wine's very good. You should try it, Goodey. Not that you like eating or drinking.
Correct.
He's not now. He's on a new regime. Richard, so when you say you're in your kitchen, don't tell me. I know the answer to this because I was chatting to your kids. Don't tell me you are living in Tbilisi.
Yes.
All
in.
Definitely. What's that like?
All in. Yeah, good. Great place. Awesome city. It's nothing like you would expect. Very cosmopolitan, very European. Very good.
Really?
And how's the lingo?
Non-existent.
Oh, you don't speak a word of? Not even hello?
No. They just told me that there's 2 alphabets, which was confusing in itself, and don't bother doing it. Just speak English.
And French. Do you speak a bit of French with them?
A bit of French with the French boys. So yeah, they don't speak English too well, some of the guys. So we sort of muddled between translation, Georgian, French, and English.
Well, give us the lie of the land then, Cockers. I can see you there, and that looks like Black Lion stash to me.
Yes.
You're obviously head coach of Georgia. Is that the official role is head coach, director of rugby?
Head coach, yes. Yeah. No,
titles matter
head
or
coach
not?
of Georgia and of the Black Lions franchise.
And so how's that work then, obviously coaching the Georgian national team? Do all the Georgian players that aren't playing in France or, there's spread out across Europe a little bit, they're all playing for Black Lion and you just double up and run it the same?
So Georgia have a 10-team domestic league, which is semi-professional, similar to the championship in the UK, in England. So, and the franchise team plays in the Challenge Cup, and we have a thing called the Super Cup where we play all the other second-tier European nations. So it's pretty good. But Georgian rugby has its sights on joining the URC, or the Black Lions joining the URC in the near future. So a bit like the Italians did back in sort of 2010 to get into the URC and keep developing Georgian rugby.
Yeah. Cockers, let's get straight into it then, because the big news last week, the call out for Wales and Warren Gatland to sign the fucking contract to do this promotion relegation.
Where are you?
Let's be having you. Richard, just give us an idea of that then, because in order for them things to happen, Georgia rugby needs more visibility. It needs to have the opportunity. It's been a very topical thing for years and years and years. Where's your stance on it now that you sat in the middle of Tbilisi wanting to see Georgian rugby get the opportunities it probably deserves?
Well, it's a pretty difficult one in the fact that, with respect to the teams we've just played, especially Portugal, who obviously had a great World Cup, we've played Holland and Germany, Spain, who, with respect to them, we beat relatively easily. Portugal, different kettle of fish, but a good win for us last weekend as a national team. Where do we go next? And that's the key part. Is I know the Six Nations is its own entity, but Italy's been let in 2001 season. So it was just our president Soso is the man with the biggest energy I've ever met, and he's very happy to put it out there. And we're always looking for games against the tier 1 team. So Wales haven't gone well this Six Nations, and I think it was just to chuck it out there to go, well, come and play us. Come to Tbilisi and play us, or let's go double header in the autumn, and just to see how good we are, because we don't really know, because we don't get the opportunity to play against the top teams as often as we'd like to. And it's good banter, isn't it? I mean, it's
let's do
now
it.
The pressure Wales to go. Come on, then we'll come to you. You come to us, and let's have a crack. Which should be, George, like the Georgian public love their rugby. If Wales came to play here in the autumn, we'd sell out the National Stadium. We'd sell out 60,000 seats, and we'd have, what a great spectacle. It's a great place to visit. There's lots to do, and the rugby's pretty, they're pretty passionate about the rugby. So why not? And why not give Georgia the opportunity to test itself? We might not be good enough, but we don't know until we stick ourselves our heads above the parapet and see if we can have an unofficial playoff game for the Six Nations.
Unofficial playoff game. I like that. What you mean is official, and that's going to take a bit of.
I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. Certainly in the very near future. But why not have a bit of a crack and just see where that? Are we good enough? And we've got a good summer series with Fiji and Japan and Australia. So it would be a real test for us. Because we've got some way to go in the standards that we play at. But at the moment, it's just getting enough games at the top level for us to keep improving, like Italy have, like Fiji have, playing Drura, and then having such a wonderful World Cup. So we'd just like to be, I suppose, invited to the party a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the majority of the rugby world, apart from maybe people in Wales, are with you, Cockers, and want to see that in whatever guise it is, whether it can be a playoff game. And I've said it on here quite a lot, haven't I? I said there needs to be some sort of ramification, some sort of playoff game, because you can't just keep that trapdoor shut. And people talk about this new Nations League and all that stuff. But who are you brave enough to say who is responsible for that tweet, Cockers? I can't imagine you're a man that gets on Twitter, but I reckon it was your fucking idea. Tweet it!
No,
someone else used it when my fingers are too fat.
I've no doubt it's come from the president. So like he's pretty full on. So I don't know who put it out there, but they've certainly made a stir. Sam Warburton. Everybody's talking about Georgian rugby, which is important for us as a nation. And we've come to the point where we need to be allowed to enter, whether it's the URC from a club point of view in the next couple of years. Certainly, the Nations Cup, we're not invited into that, so that keeps us down. From an international point of view, that takes a bit of the wind out of our sails for the foreseeable future. So, and I'm not saying it's not a criticism of anybody up the chain. It's just it's a problem that needs to be looked at, so we can get an opportunity to. Like Italy have and have grown over the last 20 odd years to be dining at the top table and giving ourselves an opportunity. Look at Argentina, their opportunity with Jaguars, and then obviously the national side. Like it's now they're a top 5 or 6 team in the world.
What's the investment like there, Cockers? Is there money investment?
Yeah, look, it's well funded. The government funds 75% of the project here, whether it be the Black Lions or the national team, and the rest comes from revenue from sponsorship and television. So we're not a super wealthy rugby nation, but we're certainly funded well enough to be competitive. And look, as soon as you enter into those types of competitions, whatever it may be. TV and the cut of gate and all those other things come into it, and this Georgia has the potential to grow hugely, like Italy has, like Argentina have. So as you know, Jim, I've come here to try and help grow this team, and I've never been shy about putting myself forward to putting the challenge down for us to go and have a crack and see how good we can be.
It helps. Do you know the interview process, Cockers? Does it help when you walked in the room? They went, "He looks Georgian. We have him."
I think we're a good fit, Goodey. I'll put it that way.
It is so cool, though, isn't it? You think Graham Wiggsville was there before, and then that you're there. Like, it just fits. Like, when I saw
Graham
you
Wiggsville,
go there,
Richard Cockerill.
It just works. Do you know what I mean? Are you loving it, Cockers? I know you went to Montpellier, and not the private conversations we've had, but when you chat to about Montpellier, it's a crazy club, right? It has been for years. For when I was there, before I was there, all the way up to now, just how business is done there. So is it a welcome break to be able to get your teeth stuck into Georgian rugby?
Yeah, look, it's the reality of Montpellier is if you don't win games, you get moved on. So I didn't win enough games and I got moved on. That's the game, the business that I'm in. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying any time you can go somewhere and add. And sometimes you fit in jobs really well, and it goes really well. He was really good at Toulon after Leicester, and then Edinburgh was good. England was a different experience again, but Montpellier just didn't work. But here, it seems to be a good fit. We've had a good start, and we were expected to win Rugby Europe, but I think my skill set and mentality suits this group, and we'll see where it takes us in the next little while.
So cool.
It is cool. You mentioned England there. It's been a mad, probably 12, 15 months for you, obviously being in England forwards coach and part of that initial setup with Steve. And then obviously that came to an end, and you go to France, and then you're in Georgia. Like, as a coach, and we talk to a lot of coaches and players, it's fucking hard, isn't it? Like, you've been here, there, and everywhere, and you've got family and all that stuff. How tough is it as a coach without having that security necessarily of a long term? I presume you're getting payouts left, right, and centre like I used to, but it's hard, isn't it? Like, genuinely, you wouldn't have expected a year ago you to be head coach at Georgia and living in Tbilisi, would you?
No, you sort of have to go with the flow a little bit. It's probably becoming more like football every week. Really, it's a results-based business, and people don't have a lot of patience. So, and there's so many things that go into it. As you know, as a player, you just have to think about yourself. As a coach, you're thinking about how the place is set up, conditioning, physios, players, the balance of your team, when can you change your team, all those types of things. So, and results matter. So if you don't win, ultimately you get put under pressure and people lose their jobs. And it's happened to me a couple of times in my coaching career, but you have to dust yourself off and go to the, believe in what you do and how you do it, and find the right place to go and coach. So, but it's not easy. It's difficult at times. It's a very busy place when you're employed, and then the day you get sacked, no one wants to call you or message you. What you players like you do. You're very fickle. So,
what? You just phone your bank manager and go, "How much is in there, pal?"
Behave yourselves.
Yeah, Richard, great to have you. Yeah. Have you got a message for Gats or anything? Do you want to just sign the contract, Warren? Just say it. We need you to say that,
Warren G.
Well, I think as two nations, we have a good relationship. So we'd love to have Wales here because they're a great rugby nation, and it would be one hell of an event if we could get Wales to come here, or vice versa. We're happy to play them anywhere. But it would be for rugby as a spectacle, and especially for Georgian rugby. Yeah, it would be awesome.
Imagine the content. You talk about this Netflix doc. Yeah. Imagine actually doing something on the jeopardy.
Should we do it?
Of that, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
If Wales come here, you boys can have the rights to come and film behind the scenes and see how we.
There we go. So Richard will do that. If you can just say Warren G sign the contract, just say that for us, and we'll get it done.
You behave yourselves. I'm not
Warren G, sign the fucking contract.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Cockers. Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Legend, mate. Thank you, mate. I might come out there and see you soon. How long are you there for?
Well, depends if we win the next game or not.
We'll win the next game. I'm coming over. I don't know how I'm getting there.
All right.
Cheers, mate. Legend.
Cheers, Cockers.
Thanks, Bye-bye. Cockers.
Good luck, mate.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.
Top bloke.
Top lad.
He is.
I'm so happy for him.
How Georgian does he look as well?
It's a match made in heaven. When I saw him go there, when I saw him go to Montpellier, I was like, this is not ending well. Not a reflection of Cockers.
It's just Montpellier.
It's just Montpellier. Yeah. It just doesn't end well there. And then we know how well Wigsville did over there. And then it's a match made in heaven.
It is. When you look Georgian and you've got a bit of anger and you like Cockers and you're a good coach, which he is, respectfully, it does look like it works nicely together. And he's definitely the one that said, Warren G, how big's yours? Because mine's pretty, even though Cox isn't that big.
Yeah, it was Coxville.
Coxville. How funny. Graham Rouchy A, Richard Cockerill B, the ABC club.
Yeah.
Wigsville, Cockville. Do you reckon we can get Garthville out there?
It's the fan in Georgia.
Darren Garforth.
He's going over the scaffolding poles. Yeah, he's going over there. But Cockers, all in. All the chips are in. I'm moving to Tbilisi. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Mate, I've been to Tbilisi, played for the Barbars then, nearly got beat by Georgia.
Was it not like 40 degrees?
It was.
That's why they want the Welsh to go there. Exactly. How stupid are they?
I tell you now, loose place.
Really?
The late Mickey Steele-Bodger, the Barbars president, legend. Me and him were on the bus. We've been drinking on the plane. And I don't know how we got to Georgia, but we flew there from somewhere and we got off the bus and we got And we got off the plane onto the buses, but before you got on the buses, you had to down like a double shot of Georgian vodka at like 4 a.m.
Just what you want.
Just what you want when you've been on the pitch for about 10 hours on the plane. You get up, mouth dry as anything, bang. And then we had to go for a walk. So there was no training. It was Auckland Grid outside the hotel. And then it was a walk up the mountain. So we went up to this big monastery in Tbilisi, and we've all got our tops off.
Did you pray?
Well, we didn't. They wouldn't let us in the monastery because we've got our tops off, sweating profusely. Boys are on the tabs on the way up. Apparently, it's disrespectful. You've got to have your t-shirts on. No t-shirt. And we're thinking, no, we haven't got t-shirts. And they're like, but they're screaming at you to put them on. Like, come on, Sava. Couldn't speak any Georgian, just for Sava. Sava, mon ami.
That's French.
C'est fatigué.
How good of Georgia to call out Wales. And now we'll see how big Wales' spuds are.
We'll see how big we are.
Well, yeah.
See if this transcends into the Welsh national
It's amazing, though, isn't it?
It needs to happen.
It does need to happen.
Poor Wales, though. Like Italy.
Well, they are.
Italy have had like 20 years giving it a go. Imagine that. Imagine 1 year you get the wooden spoon and fucking Georgia take your place. And you're going to Belgium to play the Belgique.
Belgique. Georgia, come on. Yeah, to be fair to Wales, they should. Do you know what they should do? They're playing Australia. So they should just. No, they've messed up here, Wales. They've either messed up or they've been very wise. They've thought, fuck Georgia, we're playing South Africa. So they're playing South Africa at Twickenham, and then they're back-to-back against Australia in Sydney and Melbourne. But there is a couple of weeks in between. South Africa at Twickenham on the 22nd of June, and the first test against Australia in Sydney on the 6th of July.
Sign the contract. Straight
in. You've got a 3-game tour. Plus, you've got the Queensland Reds, but no one cares about that. You've got a 3-test tour, one in London at Twickers against the Springboks. Send the kids, pick your A team against Georgia. It's on the way to Australia, so just do it.
Kind of.
Guts, just do it for the crack.
Pod. Rugby pod.